Today on Politics and Governance, we will be looking at the incidents of thuggery in Nigerian politics. We cannot overemphasize this phenomenon presently, especially because the 2019 general elections are here and there's need for us to do things differently. Since independence, according to some analysts, politics in Nigeria has been characterized by thuggery and violence. A lot of people have identified unemployment among youth and its attendant poverty as one of the major reasons that make Nigerian youths willing tools in the hands of desperate politicians. I have joining me in the studio today, Comrade Salihu Dantata Mahmood. Comrade, welcome to Politics and Governance today.
A very pleasant afternoon to you, our eloquent and erudite anchor person.
Thank you, Comrade.
As well as good Nigerian listeners.
Okay. All right. Let's start it this way. You know, the prevalence of political thuggery in Nigeria's politics, what is it really about? Every day we hear about, youth being used by politicians, to cause problems and all that. What really is this phenomenon, political thuggery in Nigeria?
Well, if we are to go by the origin as well as foundation of political thuggery, I think it has its basis and history from when we became independent nation, that is particularly in 1960, the first republic that even our founding fathers like Sir Ahmadu Bello, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Obafemi Awolowo, S.L. Akintola, Dennis Osadebe, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and host of others, they also had what we call political talks. And when we talk about political talks as well as political thuggery, it's a situation where some, age brackets, majorly youths, are used to torment the opponents as well as the opposition. And I can tell you that this political thuggery was well pronounced in the 1963 Western Regional Crisis that was tagged Operation Wetie. Operation Wetie is a Yoruba time as regards using petrol fuel to wet the opponents, where perceived political opponents who were in opposition to followers of S.L. Akintola as well as Obafemi Awolowo, who was then the premier, and S.L. Akintola later took over from him. So the thugs loyal to Awolowo as well as thugs loyal to S.L. Akintola used that Operation Wetie to torment each other. I think particularly political thuggery became pronounced from that 1963 Western Regional Crisis when Akintola took over from Obafemi Awolowo. And later, as the political emancipation lingers on, precisely in the Second Republic, between the followership of UPN then, as well as MPN, GNPP, MPP, PRP, and host of others, they also used political talks to torment each other, where even the police as well as the security agencies were overwhelmed, because most of these political talks, majorly, they are drunkards, political, Igbo smokers, as in they take weed, and mostly when they demonstrate this bewilderness, they are not always in their senses. So again, it happened majorly when our democracy became stable in 1999, where we had political talks loyal to the PDP, to AD then, as well as APP then, that later metamorphosed into APC. And the PDP also used that terms they learned from the First and Second Republic to also continue from where the politicians that laid the foundation to our, embracement or embracing, I can say, of democracy in Nigeria. Therefore, politicians see political thuggery as the shortcut to get into power, because sometimes they don't believe in ballot boxes. They don't believe in casting of votes by the electorate. Sometimes in a polling booth where a political party candidate or aspirant has larger political talks, could use that to get what it cannot get through the electoral body declaration. And I can give you examples of this even as regards internal democracy of party primaries. It happened in the PDP, it happened in the APC, and also smaller parties like the SDP, COA party, and other parties where you even see it is not the general election. Within the primaries that were recently held, that they used political talks to snatch boxes that were used to cast votes for their candidates of even party representations, not even in general elections. Therefore, political office holders, they see that as shortcut to ascending to political offices, which even the security agencies have not been able to solve the problem, because sometimes it also becomes possible and positive with the conspiracy theory of the security agency. For example, they conspire sometimes with security agencies cutting across from the DSS, police, army, and also other leading security agencies where you see a commissioner of police is already mortgaged, and he compromises once some amounts of millions in naira form or dollar form are given. Then even sometimes the smaller officers that partake in the field operations also, both at the level of DPO or maybe the divisional state security officer at the local government level, where they go, where these talks are to unleash mayhem, you don't find the presence of police, DSS, or other security agencies until when they succeed in either doing what their principals, scripted for them to do. So this is basically the foundation of political thuggery, and the advantage it has negatively. But to them, they see it as positive advantage. Let me give you a peripheral example. The primaries held recently, Suleja, Gurara, and Tafa Federal Constituency is one of the closest to the seat of power, where the president and other people are. Common primary for House of Reps turned into nightmare, where somebody had to even call me to put a call to the military authorities in Zuma barracks, as well as the police, as well as a top government official in Niger State, to save the situation, because the supporters of the contenders for the APC federal constituencies for Tafa, Suleja, and Gurara constituency went for free axing of themselves, cutlassing of themselves, and even using bow and arrow and host of other things. So it took the intervention of the security, high power, what have you, to be able to solve that problem. That is even from party primaries. Same thing happened in Delta State, same thing happened in Kwara, same thing happened in other parts of Nigeria. So that is how political thuggery has been able to endanger our polity.
When you started, you laid the foundation, and then you said that we've been having this issue since the 1960s.
Yes,
and
First Republic.
That's very scary for me. That means we must have learned something very wrong from our founding fathers.
Yes.
But then I'm wondering why we continue to have the same conditions, instead of us trying to fight and ensure that we right the wrongs. We have continued in this path all this time, and I'm wondering, is it really because of what a lot of people think, that poverty is one of the major, I know desperation among some politicians, and the negative impact of money politics in the country's present-day democracy are some of the reasons. But why have we allowed ourselves, especially the youth, to continue to be used like that? Because a lot of times when these things are happening, you hardly will see the real politicians themselves, those contesting, coming out holding knives and guns and all that, especially in the public. Why have we not been able to ensure that our youths, learn better, and they're not allowed to be used as thugs all the time by these people?
Let me give you an example of what late Congolese Prime Minister once said, Patrice Lumumba. He said, people with idea don't make it to the seat of power. People that lack idea makes it to the seat of power. And the moment you don't have people with intelligence, brilliance, devoted skill, enterprising skill, and the wherewithal as regards what it takes to be leaders, this is what you find. And certain factors are responsible why the youths, not only in Nigeria, in major third world countries, especially Africa, have not realized that these politicians that uses them most of the times as political talks as well as touts don't use their kith and kin and even their children. Look at most of the politicians today that are senators of the Federal Republic, members of state houses of assembly, members of House of Representatives, ministers, governors, councillors, chairmen of local government, vice president as well as president. Their children go to better schools like Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, Lincoln, and other leading universities across the world. Son or daughter fends for him or herself. What happens? Maybe that girl goes and she's at the mercy of politicians. Whatever they say, go and kill, they will do. The same way goes to the male. Whenever they go and they give them little substance, they get a bottle of Star or Gogoro, palm wine, burukutu, and other things, give them weed, they go do anything, courtesy of peanuts, monies that cannot buy a plate of food in Drumstick or Mr. Biggs. And even at that, they don't use their own family, like I mentioned to you. Most of their families are better educated. Today, go to A-class parastatals in Nigeria, like NDIC, AMCON, Petroleum Equalization Fund, PTDF, Asset Management, SCC, Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company, including our own Federal Road Safety Commission. Today, if you don't have a note for a retired general, retired assistant inspector general of police, a senator, House of Rep member, or somebody from the presidential villa or a governor, you can't get recruited or enlisted at the commission level. Talk more of civil defense that people use 300,000 to buy jobs. And VIO, as well as police, Navy, Air Force, Army, DSS, and others. Today, if you don't know anybody, you cannot get enlisted. And for those that don't know, they use their hard-earned money to get that. Unemployment, illiteracy, poverty, low literacy level, lack of enlightenment at the part of government agencies like National Orientation Agency are also responsible. Even INEC itself, I think they have failed also, because in the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, we have a department that is Department of Voter Education, Civic Education, and Enlightenment. How many times do they collaborate with traditional rulers, with local government chairmen, with community-based association, both for youth and women, market-based association, religious bodies and others, to carry out quarterly enlightenment? It is only when elections are on the corner that you see INEC start radio sensitization, TV, newspaper, and host of others. They don't go and do town hall meeting, interactive sessions, and all the programs that the people at the grassroots level will be direct beneficiaries. How many people have time to listen to radio stations? How many people have time to buy newspapers and read? How many people actually watch television? But once they go enlightening through traditional leaders, World Aids, district book that says that service delivery as regards delivery of democracy dividends lies only on Muslim politicians or Christian politicians. No, a pagan, once his intentions are for delivering of democracy dividends, can take us to greater heights. But look at both from the national level to state and local government. Today is sentiment, is religious bigotry, ethnicity, and host of others, except we come and tell ourselves the truth. If today it is an Elizabeth that can lead us to the promised land, there is nothing that says that Elizabeth should be a Muslim. If it is a Muhammad that can lead us to promised land, there is no book that says that person must be this religion. Therefore, the government itself, because if you look at yesterday, it was the time of the Tafawa Balewas, Ahmadu Bello, Awolowo, Dennis Osadebe. Today, some other people have taken over. We need to correct these abnormalities that I've mentioned to you. Illiteracy, poverty, sentiment, ethnicity, low literacy level, lack of employment, youth restiveness, and misguidance. Then also misinterpretation of languages. Nigeria is a secular state. Nigeria has moved from a country to a nation. If today I am saying Mrs. Oikeke Kure don't know how to anchor, and I come tomorrow and I'm doing the worst, it means she's better than me. The players in the First Republic are better than those of the Second Republic. Those of the Second Republic fared very well than the ill-fated Third Republic under Babangida. Then again, in these republics we had, from Obasanjo to Yaradua to Jonathan and today to Buhari, we are still having it wrong. Today, politicians don't go on issue-based campaign. All they go on is hate speech. Today, you see them bribing musicians, singing double wahala for dead body, or trying to say this person is an homosexual, this and this, or this person is the president that is in the villa is not the one. These are not what Nigerians expect from them. What we expect are issue-based campaign. So we must owe both the president, the presidential candidates of other parties, not only APC and PDP, including the smaller parties. Then also any politician vying for either senatorial seat, House of Rep seat, State House of Assembly seat, gubernatorial seat, responsible for engaging in hate speech. They should henceforth embark on issue-based campaign. Nigeria, as I said, is greater among Committee of Nations. Today, any president, be it US president, UK, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, India, or whatever, that doesn't reckon with Nigerian president, don't feel comfortable. Why? Because in one way or the other, even outside our petroleum, they've seen that we are the leader and giant of Africa. Therefore, any policy, any idea so whatsoever that must come from Africa, it is Nigeria that is invited to be in the lead. So if we are disrecognized amongst the Committee of Nations, what then stop us to play the game according to the rules in Nigeria? Because the world is watching. Every day you go internationally, you are arriving at Heathrow Airport or JF Kennedy International Airport in the US, when they see green passport, they search you to pants. Our politicians are also responsible. We said military must go back to barracks. Today, the military have taken their constitutional role of fighting against external aggressors. But even at that, our politicians have refused to learn from the mistakes of the past. If they do the worst, one day, God forbid, we might have another incursion, which we are not praying for. I am praying that they talk to themselves. It is not a matter of do or die, as some politicians will say. It's a matter of Nigerian interest of Nigerian people, Nigerian voters, Nigerian electorates. And their representation is representation of Nigerians, irrespective of class, religion, ethnic group, as well as religious group. That is why in every day we emphasize that there exists a distinguished class of dignitaries in the military, political class, and private sector, but it is not all that possess credibility. Therefore, I am also using this platform to advise Nigeria electorates that these 2019 elections, let us vote our leaders not based on sentiment, not based on religion, not based on ethnicity, but based on the interests of Nigeria, those that have the conduct, capability, as well as that are geared towards delivering what we need, like good hospitals, schools, education, infrastructure, security, and host of others.
Okay. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. But when we get back, you will call us and contribute. We're looking at political thuggery in Nigeria, way forward. What should we be doing, especially now that 2019 is right here in just a few months' time? We need to begin to do things differently. Like Comrade just said, you know, we have been part of this. This has been like part of us since independence, and we cannot continue to be same. This is 21st century. 2019 is just right here. What should we do to ensure that, you know, we get rid of this phenomenon that is very, very detrimental to our democracy? We need to do the right things. How can we agree and achieve a situation where we vote in just those persons that, you know, our desires, those ones that we think we have are tested, those ones that we think, you know, has what it takes to lead us to the promised land, as the saying is. So we'll take a short break, but when we return, you can begin to call us. Comrade is still in the house, and we look at the issues together. We're interested in the way forward. What should we be doing as a people?
Politics has continued to influence our society for many years. Politics has continued to influence our society for many years. The welfare of the citizenry is often decided by policymakers. Over the years, people have actively been involved in decision-making, while others have preferred to observe with little or no interest. For more information and education on what goes on in the political arena, join us as we talk with politicians and policymakers of our time for in-depth analysis of political events in Nigeria and the global community. Listen to Politics and Governance on Human Rights Radio every day from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Human Rights Radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen to Politics and Governance. Politics and Governance.
Welcome back. This is Politics and Governance, and today we're looking at political thuggery as it affects governance in Nigeria. Thuggery has largely encouraged dictatorship amongst political leaders at different levels because, usually it results in the imposition of candidates for various elective offices by powerful cliques within political parties, by using thugs to compel obedience and or instill fear in the majority of party members. And it also scares credible candidates, including women, from active participation in democratic process. Comrade, can we say that, over time, we've been saying that we have this narrative that we've not enjoyed dividends of democracy in Nigeria. Governance has not been what it should be for the Nigerian people. Do you think that political thuggery, which also encourage dictatorship and, imposition of candidates on people, have been largely responsible for this kind of governance?
Well, if I say political thuggery alone has been responsible, I think I'm not being fair. You see, in any sovereign nation, you have what you call security agencies. And if you have fair, justified, and competent security apparatus, you don't have the rate of thuggery to be high. The failure of the security agencies to also perform their constitutional role made thuggery to debar and deprive electorates and the governed of getting democracy dividends delivered. And that is why I brought the issue of conspiracy theory also and connivance at the part of security agencies, especially the police and DSS, who are charged with maintaining internal security. Because when you talk about the Army, Navy, and Air Force, they have their enshrined roles in the Constitution. Like the Army, they don't have any business in maintaining internal security, except if it overpowers the police, DSS, and other paramilitary agencies. But today, every now and then, here and there, you see well-kitted camouflage officers from Land Army, Navy, as well as Air Force. This goes to tell you that the agencies in the security arm that are charged with the responsibility of maintaining internal security are not doing what ought to be done, when and how. And this brings us to the issue of getting to reorientate, retrain, and restructure the police command structure. Because when you look at the police today, especially those that we call the conventional police, the so-called Atura, as they call them in Pidgin, they are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. You find out today, when there is an issue of political uprising and crisis, when they come there, the first thing, they salute the senator that is even fueling the political crisis or thuggery. Same also the governor. Why? Because of fiat of power, which is not supposed to be. In the United Kingdom, United States, and other advanced democracies, even if you are President Trump or governor of Texas or California, provided you are found to have aided political thuggery, they will get you arrested immediately. The only thing they will tell you is to get the assistance of your attorney. These are your lawyers. But in Nigeria, the moment the DSS or police gets to know is a serving governor, senator, House of Reps, they will give him compliment, and they will call the Oga, if it's a DPO, Oga, this one don't pass power, or if it is commissioner of police or assistant area commander. Why? Because they are also afraid. Why? Because of the peanuts these guys will give to them, which is not supposed to be. Therefore, I would say the failure for us to get delivery of dividends of democracy lies at the part of the failure of security agencies to enforce the law by arresting these political talks. Because,
Yeah, because
I cannot say...
I was thinking, do we have stringent laws to punish those who are involved in this
There
kind
are
of acts?
stringent
Because-
laws, but the Criminal Justice Administration at the part of the judiciary, that is the bench, because it doesn't lie on the lawyers to also prosecute the cases. It also, the failure of the criminal justice system is also responsible. The police work hand in hand with the judiciary. So if the police majorly are getting them charged to court and the bench, that is the judiciary, are doing their job, how many political talks have been given life imprisonment or maybe charged with firing squad? I've not seen it. The only thing, a political talk will come and torment you. After what have you, he will come out and still come back to march at you. It means the police are not doing their job. Then the Criminal Justice Administration is also faulty. They have to bring out stringent laws in the judiciary so that if the police charges them to court, sometimes they should be given, life imprisonment, because I do not see a law where you now say you are granting them bail on self-recognition. And mind you, there are a class of political talks. There are even highly placed people who are also political talks. Because for you to give an order for your political opponent to go and be shot, you are also a political talk no matter how highly placed you are.
Yeah.
So we need to get it right. Both the talks as well as security agencies are
And
also
the
responsible.
sponsors.
Yes, and their sponsors as well.
Okay. All right. So you can call us. The number is 081-8999-1011. 081-8999-1011. You can call us. Let's look at these things together. Way forward. That's what we're looking at. Okay. Hello. 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 Please, you need to turn down the volume of your radio if you have to call me. Hello? Okay, please, before you call onto this program, endeavor to move away from your radio set, or you reduce the volume completely so that you can call me. If not, we'll not be able to hear each other well, okay? So the number is 081-8999-1011. We're looking at political thuggery in Nigeria, especially now that 2019 is just right here. So, comrade, we're talking about way forward, though you've been talking about way forward, do you think we can ever, okay, I'm coming, let me just take this call. Hello? Hello?
How are you? I just want to greet you for your good job that you do for Nigeria. Well done.
Thank you very much.
I call you from some village, Please, wait on.
Thank you very much, sir.
That is my contribution.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, we'll be looking at the problems. One of the way forward, do you think in 2019 we can have something different from the scenarios we've been painting? Do you think we can have something
I
very, very different?
doubt whether we can have something different. Let's not shy away from the fact. Look at the party primaries. That is not even general election. Both in the PDP, APC, and other smaller parties, you can see it was marred with political thuggery, with manipulation. Some are even calling it automatic ticket. Look, I'm not afraid of anybody because I don't go to anyone for contract. Whatever I want to do in this country, I do it for posterity, because whatever we do, our great-grandchildren and the incoming generation are going to see the positivity and the handwork. In APC, that is even the major ruling party now, some years back, while they were not in power, they were opposing the party that was in power than the PDP. I don't like either of them. You can see that a whole party chairman was even telling people that the grilling by the Department of State Services is not new. That is undemocratic. Secondly, even the PDP that is in the opposition, they had it better than the APC. The first was endorsement. Where do you ensure internal democracy by endorsing the incumbent? If Muhammadu Buhari was not the incumbent, I don't think APC would have endorsed him. I think the PDP even did a better thing in Port Harcourt by at least having the likes of Kwankwaso, Saraki, Tambuwal, David Mark, Tanimu Turaki, Atiku Abubakar, and host of others, by giving a level playing ground to produce their party candidate. But in the APC, even before they came for their ratifying convention in Eagle Square, what did they do? We have endorsed Muhammadu Buhari. I issued a press statement in December that those endorsing President Muhammadu Buhari are sycophants, because I also contributed to this change. My press releases are there in blueprint, where I say Buhari will serve all Nigerians, irrespective of tribe and religion, where I also call for the arrest of people that embezzled armed purchase, what have you, for the military. These are citizenry contributions and other statesmanly contributions. I don't have any national honor to my credit. Most of the write-ups I've done, they are things that after their publication by newspapers or after appearances in radio stations and television stations, somebody can follow me with AK-47. As I'm coming here, I drove myself. I don't have an orderly. I've been the national secretary of a party. I have held positions in ministerial level. I've been a personal assistant to a minister of Federal Republic on media. I have also been special advisor for 8 years to reps member in National Assembly. Then I've held positions that by today, if I apply, I can be given special protection unit from the police, those that carry blue beret, but I don't need it. I'm a comrade. I should show example. What I'm trying to tell you, we aren't going to have any different thing, because from even internal ensuring party, what have you, democracy, internal party democracy between within the parties, APC failed us, PDP also failed us. Let me give you an example. I don't want to mention names. In even the primaries of PDP in this Federal Capital Territory, a particular candidate used what clearance form to deprive other candidates from contesting with him. At the end of the day, he was returned as the party candidate. This is within the party. So the fault, if PDP had a kind of fault arithmetically, APC has geometrically. That of APC is enormous. Adams Oshiomhole was a labor unionist. He was president of NLC. He became governor of Edo State for 8 years. He was just given the mantle of leadership of the ruling party. Good example, they say charity begins from home. He didn't show good example. After he was grilled by the DSS, he ran to the US. Where is his country? It's Nigeria. And he's still sitting there. Today, he's engaging in words with sitting governors of Imo State, sitting governors of other states, and even a director general of Voice of Nigeria who also aspired for position of the Senate. That is how bad it has become. Except the president, who is supposed to be the party leader, because this is the first time I've seen that the sitting president is not party leader. Is it not Bola Asiwaju, Tinubu, former Lagos governor, that is APC national leader? Constitutionally, a party leader is supposed to be the president at the national level. Therefore, the state is supposed to be the governors. But in Muhammadu Buhari's case, it is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is APC national leader. This is the first in history. Even United States of America, we know that the vice president of US is the Senate president of their Senate. But Trump is the party leader of the Democratic Party in US. But in Nigeria, our own president has given his role as national leader of APC to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, because he also contributed for him to emerge victorious during the APC primary. This is wrong. So what I'm trying to say, except they live according to interests of Nigerian masses, Nigerian electorates, as well as interests of the incoming generations. Outside that, I don't see 2019 election to be different from the previous ones we've had. That is why the former president, Obasanjo, will say, do or die. I am seeing the nervous nature of the APC, as well as the PDP and other smaller parties, to also bring trouble for us in 2019, except if God answers our prayers. We do it on Sunday, services in the churches, as well as Friday, prayers in our mosques.
Okay, so keep the course coming. Hello, what's your contribution? What's the way forward? Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is Jasmine. I'm calling from Apo.
Okay, go ahead, Jasmine.
All right. I didn't quite get the name of your guest because I didn't start with you. So I would like you to give me the name of your guest, because he has said a lot of things. And first of all, I would like that this program be translated into Hausa, because while I'm from the South, I was born in the West, and I currently school in the North now. I see that politics, even at school level, is decided along religious lines, regardless of meritocracy, regardless of capacity of the candidates. Lecturers just come out and tell Muslim students, say, you must ensure that you vote for the Muslim students. That is all, no questions asked. So now, my thinking is that in the school setting, where people are expected to exercise critical thinking, nobody asks questions, nobody goes against the status quo. What then happens by the time the youth they leave that environment and then they begin to contest on national level? I think it will continue along those lines. Having said that, I would like to counter a little bit what your guest said about Nigeria being the giant of Africa. Well, I think most foreign leaders, they consult Nigeria, not because we are currently the giant of Africa, but because of what we could be, what we can potentially be, not because we are currently the giant of Africa. If you take a look at some other African countries, they are not so big and not as loud as we are. You will be surprised at the things that go on in such countries. I've been watching keenly the developmental strides taking place in Kenya, and I'm surprised because if you were to place Kenya side by side with Nigeria, one would have thought that we should be far, far ahead of them, but I don't think that's the case. So there's a lot to say, but I think I'll just stop here. Thank you. Please give me the name of your guest.
Okay, just listen, you hear the name of my guest. Thank you very much for your contribution, but I also want to say that we also have very good political programs to on our house services, which comes up between 12 o'clock in the afternoon and 4 p.m. So you can also tune in all the time, every day too.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. All right, so you can keep the calls coming. The number is 08189991011. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. What's your name? Where are you coming from?
Hello, good evening. My name is Suleiman.
Okay, Suleiman, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Gary.
Okay, go ahead, please.
The brother that is talking, he says he's talking for prosperity. I don't really think he's talking for prosperity, because if you listen to Oshomoni very well, he says DSS gave him security issues. That is not really with fraud or corruption. That is the work of IPTC and the FCC. So I think why you should be talking like that in national radio. And besides, talking about the issue of national leader. National leader, one is unlike every other leader we all know about. He is a man of integrity. He's not a private word. If everything is not his concern, one is not concerned about the people, about how to better life for the people. We know he has some weaknesses, there are weaknesses. So we should that gradually, we shall get there. So, all I'm saying is that when we are talking, we say we talk of potential, whatever, we have to be very, very careful what to gauge when we are saying, what to gauge when we talk the next issues. So now, listen, if people conduct presidential primaries, which everybody witnessed, we can see the people were cheering. Waiting for the president, only for the fact that there are no other things that we're contesting with the president. And even the president and the still in those things, but still we can see people coming out overwhelmingly to support the president. That's my take.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
You're welcome.
All right. Like I always say on this program, we don't belong to any political party. We don't support any political party. We're just, trying to. All our discussions is based on how we can arrive at good governance in Nigeria and to ensure that we have the right political environment in Nigeria. We don't support any group. We don't speak against anybody, any politician or any political leader, but we just look at the issues the way they are with the intention of getting the wrongs right. That's what we're doing right here. All right, so you can keep the calls coming, 081-8999-1011. Comrade, we just have a few months to 2019.
Yeah.
So do you think that we can remove this military-like political space, you know, with the, especially because of the reports that we hear about proliferation of arms, ammunition, and other dangerous weapons, you know, purposely for acts of criminality during the elections? It's very scary. A lot of Nigerians are wondering if they can even come out to vote in 2019. It's just one of the issues that is bothering a lot of people. How can we ensure that we can come out freely and, you know, cast our vote? We queue up, we'll cast our vote, and then we'll go home quietly, and then we'll expect the results, you know, handled properly, and then those who deserve to win actually wins.
Well, when you talk about the issue of proliferation of arms, you can see there are a lot of illegal arms in the hands of political followership, politicians, and even people who are not constitutionally qualified to handle them. Because we are not United States of America, where civilians get license to own or bear arms. Even there, what do we get? Recently, there was shooting in a bar. They are still solving the problem in the United States of America. So in our country, it is only the security agencies from the armed forces, police, DSS, paramilitary, even in the paramilitary like immigration, customs, civil defense, fire service, and others, it is their armed squad. When you talk about armed squad, out of the 100%, is 20% that the Ibrahim Babangida administration gave that constitutional power to bear arm. Like if you see every immigration bearing arm, it is illegal. It is only the armed squad. They are trained specifically to undo arms in that service because of some of the responsibilities charged, you know, bestowed on them. So also customs, so also civil defense and immigration. But when you look at today, from Tinkan Island to Chikanda, Kayama, Kosobosu, Benin Republic border, on daily basis, importation of illegal arms. This is not possible without the connivance of custom officials, border police, as well as immigration and other security agencies that are stationed to gag and guide against importation, illegal importation of these arms. Then also within the country, there are locally made pistols. Then the armorers of the armed forces, police, and other whatever, people that keep arms in their stores for the armed forces, that is Army, Navy, Air Force, police, and others. They also sometimes, due to corruption, connive and sell these arms to politicians. How many times have they arrested retired deputy superintendent of police along Enugu, Boko, and Katsina Ala, Turko Axis, you know, transporting illegal arms? How many times have they apprehended Turkey, Nigerian-bound arms at Tinkan Island? What happened to it? And that is where I talk about the for Buhari to not to be national leader. He is no closer to Buhari than me. I can go to Villa 20 times. This man might not go. I can talk, and the presidency will listen than even these people holding briefs. Sometimes, I am very sorry to use this language. We, the political followership, we must do what is right, when and how. Because some of us that even talk, we even have accessibility to powers that be. But they themselves, sometimes when they listen to us, they say kudos. There was a time I was in this radio station. After I finished, I was invited by a minister that is holding one of the sensitive ministries. He said, come, tell us what is right, how and when. And no matter anything that has to do with you, you always be in our good book. Because sometimes to be sycophantic has not been helping. That even the president and commander-in-chief was listening to that program. Sometimes if he's aboard his presidential aircraft and jet, he listens, he reads papers. A Buhari that I know, right from when he was PTF chairman, when we were in the Abacha administration, is somebody that once you do something that is wrong, he will send emissaries behind you to go and see. When they come and you come and say, Rankai, they will say, no. The moment you sit before President Muhammadu Buhari and you are telling lies, the next thing he will do, he will take his face towards the right. Who are the problem of President Muhammadu Buhari? The cabals, the people who, because of what they are eating, don't want to tell the truth. What I want to say, somebody should not come here, call, and portray our president in bad light. Both the president, both Atiku Abubakar, both Asiwaju, Tinubu, and what have you, they will want advisors who will tell them where they have failed, not Otumba or say Rankaidede. No, we are tired of that. Let us tell them what we need to tell them, how and where. They will be happy hearing, and that is why they love this radio station. I was glad the day the Vice President, number 2 man, reduced all his schedules and paid homage and came and participated in Ebelembe. If the government were to be antagonists and to be economical with it, they wouldn't be here.
Berekete Family Program, not him, but
Berekete Family Program, they were here. So if the Vice President can come here, who more is a layman? Therefore, let us tell them the truth. They want the truth to be told.
All right. Okay. They want the truth to be told. A situation where Nigerians will queue up, vote, and go back home. The votes are counted, and nobody is cheated. So that at the end of elections, there will not be, all kinds of litigations. I mean, when INEC conducts peaceful, orderly, and violent-free elections, devoid of heavy presence of security personnel, that's the dream that we all have as Nigerians. And these dreams, it's not too tall for us to achieve. We just need to have a change of heart, all right? That's just what we need to do and do the right things. Thank you very much, Comrade, for coming on this program today.
The pleasure is mine.
Okay, I've been talking with Comrade Saliu Dantata Mahmood. Politics and Governance returns tomorrow, same time. But meanwhile, I have Mary in the studio. Mary, what do you have for us just now?
Good afternoon. I will be talking about the Bins and Sniper saga on Imagine. All you have to do is listen up, because we'll be dishing it out HOT.
Okay. All right. Thank you once again, Comrade, for coming on the program.
Thank you, our erudite anchor person. I wish one day you become spokesperson of United Nations Human Rights Desk, because you are eminently qualified.
Amen. And
it's your types that are supposed to be given national honor, not the political what have you.
Thank you, Comrade. Yes. All right. Okay. Politics and Governance returns same time tomorrow. Thank you.
Politics has continued to influence our society for many years. Politics has continued to influence our society for many years. The welfare of the citizenry is often decided by policymakers. Over the years, people have actively been involved in decision-making, while others have preferred to observe with little or no interest. For more information and education on what goes on in the political arena, join us as we talk with politicians and policymakers of our time for in-depth analysis of political events in Nigeria and the global community. Listen to Politics and Governance on Human Rights Radio every day from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Human Rights Radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen to Politics and Governance. Politics and Governance.
With extraordinary giant strides, we at 101.1 Human Rights Radio